The left continues to show its ignorance by not knowing the difference between the coyote animal and the coyote person that smuggles people across the border. When we go to dictionary.com, a person who smuggles immigrants, especially Latin Americans, into the U.S. for a fee.
Children are brought here by coyotes and lots of bad people, cartels, and they're brought here, and they used to use them to get into our country. We now have as strong a border as we've ever had. We're over 400 miles of brand new wall. You see the numbers, and we let people in, but they have to come in legally. They built cages. You know, they used to say, I built the cages. And then they had a picture in a certain newspaper, and it was a picture of these horrible cages. And they said, look at these cages. President Trump built them. And then it was determined they were built in 2014. That was him.
It's not coyotes didn't bring them over. Their parents were with them. They got separated from their parents. And it makes us a laughing stock and violates every notion of who we are as a nation.
Let me ask you a follow-up
Kristen,
question.
they did it. We changed the policy.
Your response
they
to that?
They did it. We changed.
Did not
They built the
separate
cages.
They,
who built the cages, Joe?
Let's talk about what
who
we're
built
talking
the cages,
about.
Joe?
Let's talk about what we're talking about. What happened? Parents were ripped, their kids were ripped from their arms and separated. And now they cannot find over 500 of sets of those parents, and those kids are alone. Nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. It's criminal. It's criminal.
Let me ask
Kristen,
you
I
about
will say this.
immigration.
They
10
went down.
seconds,
We
and
brought
then I need to ask
reporters,
you.
everything. They are so well taken care of. They're in facilities that were so clean.
But some
and
of them
gotten
haven't been
such
reunited
But
with their
just ask
families.
one question. Who built the cages? I'd love you to ask him that. Who built
So
the
then we
cages?
go over to Twitter, where attorney, advisor, and Georgia State Democratic representative and chief deputy whip of the Georgia House Dems, Dar'shun doesn't know the difference between an animal coyote and a coyote smuggling people across the border. Did at real Donald Trump just say 545 kids they can't find their parents for came over through cartels and coyotes? How the hell does a coyote bring a whole human across the border? Lord, stop talking. Hashtag final debate. Which then set everyone off into just absolutely hilarious rant of tweets telling her that she's an idiot, because she is. Imagine a pack of these crossing the border. No wonder we need better walls. I had no idea that you could throw a saddle on a coyote, which is a relative of the wolf and sometimes crossbreeds with wolves, plunk your child on his back and use him as transportation. Be careful, she might confuse the term goat. Look, I'm just thankful this masterpiece disaster is still up. Picture taken, coyotes smuggling kids to us, one at a time. At first I thought she was a fool, then I thought, nobody is that stupid, she has to be a comedian. After reviewing the bio, the decision on the field stands. You're a corporate attorney. Yes, and a damn good one. I doubt that, but maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Kids can't find their parents because they did not come with people who were their parents, possibly kidnapped, and were most likely headed to a horrific fate in sex trade. Yes. This person gets it. It is common knowledge. If you aren't aware of common terminology associated with the subject at issue, you might want to sit things out. Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt. You get it. I think this just goes to show how utterly ignorant and ill-informed most politicians are. Don't give these people power. The fact that an elected official thought Donald Trump was talking about an actual coyote tells you everything you need to know about the current state of our political leaders. The fact that this is the focus when 545 children have been cruelly and inhumanely separated from their parents tells you everything you need to know about the current state of Republican morality. Well, seeing as how it wasn't their parents that brought most of them over and the cages were built by Joe, wow, you might be the dumbest person on the internet. Congrats. Which is dumber though, the tweet itself or the fact she hasn't deleted it? Hope this helps. Yes. NBC Saturday Night Live should make a skit about this. Cartel hollows out the inside of the coyote, leaving only the heart and lungs. Then they stuff the child inside. The child has been trained to drive the coyote from inside by operating the tail like a rudder and looking through the nostrils. It's some real next level shit. Like, wow. That was good. What? The child has been trained? Yes, but Trump is smart. What? In the words of Biden, come on, man. You cannot be an elected official and not know what a coyote is. Coyotes are smugglers who often end up pushing the people they smuggle into human trafficking to pay their bill off through forced labor or sex. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why Georgians should vote Republican. Hashtag clueless. I think she hasn't seen the Roadrunner cartoon yet. Coyotes are very creative. Wow. You cannot be this stupid. The kids were being trafficked, that's why their parents didn't show up. Yes. This is a great example on why there should be an intelligence test to be able to vote. Yes. Dar'shun, this was a perfectly reasonable mistake. Coyote is a term invented by Republicans. I think it ties back to Karl Rove. But this person says that it's in the Oxford Dictionary. You're an attorney, you need to be disbarred now. And while we're on the subject, how can sharks loan anyone money they don't even have hands to count the money and sign documents? What about the drug mules? I mean, how do they allow these on aircraft and boats? The Democrat herself has corrected the Democrats. I at least applaud her for not deleting it, yes. I named my new coyote Dar'shun. Didn't come with any children, though. Ignorance is bliss. Uninformed voters are one thing. Uninformed candidates are just shameful, especially when affiliated, with the party of immigration. The Obama administration checking out the cages they built in 2015. She may not know the term, but the fact still matters. Kids don't know where their families are because 45 ripped them from their people. You mean THEIR, and they didn't come over with their families.
America. Hey folks, Sheriff Lamb here. Now, I'm a sheriff out here in Arizona, and like many of the other sheriffs here in Arizona, border security is a big issue for us. Now, this week during the presidential debate, they talked about border security, and President Trump talked about how important it was to secure America. And he talked about coyotes. Now, there's a lot of you, even some with blue check marks, who think you're smarter than all of us, that were making fun of the president for using the term coyote. So I'm going to give you a little education today. You see, this is a coyote, not what the president was referring to. We have plenty of these out here in Arizona. This is what the president was referring to. These are also coyotes, paid by the cartel to bring people and drugs into our country, like this. See all these guys in their camouflage clothes? Well, this may be a joke to some of you. This is not a joke to us out here. Nor is it a joke to the hundreds of thousands of people who have been trafficked by the cartel, or the millions of people who have lost loved ones from drug addiction, like heroin, fentanyl, methamphetamines. We take it serious, and we're thankful to a president who also takes it serious and who believes in border security. Please stand with us in protecting our borders. God bless.
He gets it. It is difficult to comprehend that an attorney does not know what the term coyote means in reference to smuggling slaves into the U.S. from Mexico. You should give your law degree back to Kellogg's so they can put it back on the back of a cereal box. Then you need to remember, if you're not part of the solution, then you are part of the problem. Yes. Bless your heart. Oh, David Hogg, because no one ever asked for his opinion ever on anything. Imagine calling the immigrant parents that bring their children to the United States for a better life coyotes. The level of xenophobia is sickening. No, they're actually brought over by people who are paid to bring them over, and then they get separated. Why is this guy still trying?